What's up, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on this video. Now, I know this is not a review channel, but with me being a big fan of the Batman and now seeing it twice in theaters, I just thought I'd give my quick review. Also, I want to say that I'm giving away two big Batman related items and a couple small items that I have as well. So if you're interested in that, please just stay tuned for later on in the video. That being said, this is going to be a spoiler review. So if you have not seen the movie yet, then I wouldn't watch this video. So getting into the review, the Batman does start off with Robert Pattinson's Batman narrating, talking about how he has to pick his criminals wisely, and he pretty much saying that he can't be everywhere, but the criminals that are committing crimes at the beginning of the movie, you can tell that they're scared to go into the dark, whether that be the guy that robs the gas station or the convenience store, and people spray painting a building, breaking into a bank. They're all scared because they're not sure if Batman is there waiting on them. So we make it to the crime scene, and we also see Commissioner Gordon and Batman working together. Now, the other law enforcement, they don't necessarily want to work with the Batman. You can tell by just the way they look at him, because he's pretty much doing what they can't do. And that's evident by him pointing out something at the crime scene that the other detectives they don't discover. So it's this Batman, he pretty much does what the other ones haven't. Like Christian Bale's Batman, I always rank Christian Bale's Batman as the most realistic Batman, and then I give Ben Affleck the most comic book accurate Batman. What I mean by that is everything that Ben Affleck did, from the warehouse scene in Batman vs Superman. I wanted to see a solo movie after I saw that, but unfortunately, we won't get one. But I think we're in good hands with Robert Pattinson's Batman, especially after this performance. Now, we also get to see the relationship between Batman and Catwoman, um, Selena Kyle, and of course, played by Zoe Kravitz. Now, I think her acting is very good. We also discover that Carmine Falcone is her father. If you read the comics or watched previous movies as well, then you would know that already. But the relationship between the two obviously isn't good at all. She pretty much tries to set up a deal between Falcone's lower man, which is Penguin, played by Colin Farrell, which he did a very good job, especially with his prosthetics. I couldn't tell that it was him that was playing. If I didn't know, I wouldn't have been able to tell. The acting was good as well. Just the overall vibe that I got from these characters was really good. Zoe Kravitz, again, her acting was really good. When Carmine Falcone was killed by the Riddler, Paul Dano, you can tell her emotions there were pretty much, it was still there. Even though he pretty much abandoned her, when she was younger, she still had that emotion. Something else that I want to point out as well is Robert Pattinson, he's pretty much the Batman for 85 to 90% of the movie, which isn't a bad thing. He's the Batman so much that he forgets things, which is why he has this contact lens, which allows him to pretty much record anything that he looks at, which is very cool. That's why he looks at crime scenes with such detail, because that allows him to go back and solve some of the Riddler's riddles. I know this review is probably all over the place, but this is not a professional review. This is just coming from a fan of the Batman. So with that being said, I'm going to jump all the way to the car chase scene with the Penguin. When the engine started up, it pretty much sounded like a jet engine. Man, especially if you see that in the movie theaters as well, that was it was a pretty cool experience, because you can just see the anger. So much emotion is conveyed in Robert Pattinson's eyes when he's playing the Batman. But going back to that car chase scene with the Penguin, that was pretty cool. Now, going toward the end of the movie where Batman has to fight all the Riddler's minions, that was also a pretty cool scene because it just shows the combat that the Batman has, which were pretty cool. It's more realistic to me, and it's also the interpretation. It just shows the anger that he has built up, just trying to put an end to the madness that goes on in Gotham. Like I said, he feels that the only way that he can make a change, or at least at this point in the movie, is by being the Batman. Now I'm going to another one of my favorite scenes of the movie when he takes a shotgun to the chest at point blank range. I believe it was a double barrel shotgun. At this point, he's not able to fight anymore. And Zoe Kravitz, Catwoman, she comes there to comfort him. But once Catwoman starts getting attacked by one of the Riddler's minions, Batman realizes that he can't get back up. So he uses what some people are saying is venom, and other people are saying adrenaline. But he injects that into, a part of his body, and the echo when he screams to get back up and beat on this guy to save Catwoman is pretty cool. It was kind of like a last resort thing. Now, I know this review was all over the place, but I do want to judge this movie in two different ways, from a critical standpoint and from a fan standpoint. Now, from a critical standpoint, this movie isn't perfect by any means. And one flaw that I do want to point out with the movie was when Batman was putting on his wingsuit. I can tell that that was CGI. It wasn't terrible CGI, but it was just something that I could tell. So that wasn't necessarily a big thing. But from a fan standpoint, I would give this movie a 10 out of 10. Simply because I'm a fan of the Batman. It gave me what I was looking for, the hype for the movie, the build up to it. It gave me everything that I wanted in the Batman, and what I expected even more from Robert Pattinson's Batman. Now, in comparison to Robert Pattinson's Batman to Christian Bale and Ben Affleck, Christian Bale's Batman, I would always say, was the most realistic Batman as far as his fighting style and just his gadgets and things overall. Ben Affleck's Batman, I would also say, is the most comic book accurate Batman. With his fighting style, just his overall presence, some of the things that he would do weren't necessarily considered realistic, but it would also give you that visual of what we saw in Batman, the animated series, or just other animated Batman movies. I would give Robert Pattinson's Batman somewhere in between. And I think that's what makes him the best Batman overall, is because Matt Reeves used practical effects, which makes a lot of these things seem realistic, even if they aren't. And his detective skills, which would help with his overall realness as being the Batman. Now, if you made it this far in the video, I also mentioned previously that I was doing a giveaway. I am giving away 2 Batman, what are these things called? Funko Pops. One is the Riddler, and the other is the Batman. Also, when I went to see the Batman a couple times, yes, I have 3. You were only supposed to get 1 per ticket, but obviously I saw it twice. But the third time, the second time, I got 2 instead. If you enjoyed the video, just give it a thumbs up. If you want to enter to win one of these prizes, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment your favorite Batman. And I will announce the winner in maybe about a week or so. But I will also keep you posted on that. With that being said, now I'm going to suffer and play some Elden Ring. So hopefully that video gets posted as well. That being said, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.